A mechanic in Ohio just refused to work on his third Honda Passport this month. Not because he's lazy, because the repair bill was $8,700 and the SUV only had 47,000 miles. He told the owner to sell it immediately before the real problems start. There are 7 SUVs that mechanics are begging customers not to buy in 2026. Not because they hate the brands, because they know what's coming. Catastrophic failures, recalls that don't fix the problem, and repair bills that exceed the vehicle's value. The number 1 SUV on this list? Dealers can't keep them in stock, but mechanics won't touch them. By the end of this video, you'll know which popular SUV has a transmission that mechanics call a ticking time bomb, why another one is facing a class action lawsuit for an engine defect the manufacturer refuses to fix, and which SUV at number 1 has already cost owners over $47 million in repairs for a problem that shouldn't exist. Number 7, 2021 to 2026 Nissan Rogue. Let's talk about the SUV with the CVT nightmare. The latest generation Nissan Rogue, America's second best-selling SUV, is the one that mechanics dread seeing roll into the shop because they know what's coming. CVT transmission failure. The CVT in the new Rogue is failing at alarming rates. Mechanics report failures starting at 60,000 miles, some as early as 40,000 miles. The symptoms? Shuddering, hesitation, loss of power, then complete failure. The replacement cost is $6,500. A mechanic in Michigan keeps a running tally. He's replaced 23 CVTs in Rogues in the last 18 months. Average mileage at failure? 67,000 miles. Nissan extended the CVT warranty to 84,000 miles after class action lawsuits, but that's not enough to cover most failures. What no one expected was how Nissan denies warranty claims. They say the fluid wasn't changed on schedule, even though the manual says the CVT fluid is lifetime. Owners are getting denied for maintenance they were never told to do. Even mechanics who specialize in CVTs won't rebuild Nissan's units. They say the design is fundamentally flawed. The belt and pulley system wears prematurely. The hydraulic pressure isn't consistent. The cooling is inadequate. The only fix is replacement, and the replacements fail just as often. The CVT problem in the Rogue is so widespread that resale values have plummeted. Used car dealers won't stock them. A 3-year-old Rogue that should be worth $22,000 is selling for $14,000 because buyers know the repair is coming. Number 6, 2020 to 2026 Ford Explorer. Here's the one that's destroying Ford's credibility. The 6th-generation Ford Explorer, the complete redesign that was supposed to save Ford's SUV lineup. Instead, it's become a nightmare of mechanical problems, recalls, and unsolved issues. The Explorer has had 9 separate recalls since 2020. Mechanics are seeing the same failures post-recall. What no one expected was the engine problem. The 3.0-liter EcoBoost V6 is experiencing catastrophic failures, timing chain issues, and turbocharger failures, and Ford is denying warranty claims. The timing chain problem is particularly concerning. The chain stretches prematurely, throwing off valve timing. This causes rough running, poor performance, and eventually catastrophic engine damage. The repair requires removing the entire engine. Cost? $8,000 plus. A police department in Arizona retired their Explorer fleet early. Too many breakdowns. Too many officers stranded on duty. They switched back to Dodge Durango. The maintenance costs on the Explorers were double what they budgeted. But here's where it gets absurd. The electrical problems are unfixable. Mechanics report phantom error lights, systems that fail and reset randomly, and issues that dealerships can't diagnose because the problems are intermittent. One Explorer owner has been to the dealer 14 times for electrical issues. The infotainment system crashes. The digital gauge cluster freezes. The safety systems randomly deactivate while driving. Ford has no permanent fix. Number 5. 2022 to 2026 Jeep Grand Cherokee L. Let's talk about the 3-row Jeep that's 3 times the problems. The Grand Cherokee L, Jeep's answer to the Explorer and Pilot, except it's been plagued with electrical gremlins, engine issues, and build quality problems that Stellantis can't seem to fix. The Grand Cherokee L is experiencing widespread electrical failures. The entire infotainment system crashes and won't restart. The digital gauge cluster goes blank while driving. Safety systems randomly deactivate. A mechanic in Pennsylvania has seen 8 Grand Cherokee Ls with identical electrical issues. Dealers replace modules, update software, and replace the main computer. The problems return within weeks. What no one expected was the engine problem. The 3.6-liter V6, a proven engine in other vehicles, is failing prematurely in the L. Mechanics report excessive oil consumption. A family in Florida bought a 2023 Grand Cherokee L Overland. At 28,000 miles, the engine seized on the highway, completely locked up. No warning, no oil light, just sudden catastrophic failure. Stellantis denied warranty coverage. But here's the kicker. The build quality is terrible. Mechanics report rattles, squeaks, and loose trim pieces in vehicles with under 20,000 miles. Interior panels falling off, exterior trim pieces coming loose, headliner sagging. These are $60,000 SUVs falling apart like $15,000 used cars. Number 4. 2021 to 2026 Hyundai Palisade/Kia Telluride. Here's the controversial one that's going to upset people. The Hyundai Palisade and Kia Telluride are the darlings of the SUV market, the ones that win awards and get rave reviews. But mechanics are seeing problems that reviewers aren't talking about. The Palisade and Telluride are experiencing widespread engine failures. The 3.8-liter V6 is seizing without warning. Mechanics report metal shavings in the oil, bearing failures, rod knock, and complete engine destruction at 50,000 to 90,000 miles. And Hyundai and Kia are fighting warranty claims aggressively. A mechanic in Virginia has documented 12 engine failures in Palisades and Tellurides, all with proper maintenance, all with dealer service records, all religiously cared for. Hyundai and Kia are denying claims based on technicalities. One owner was denied because they went 47 miles over the oil change interval, not 4,700 miles, 47 miles over. There are multiple class action lawsuits forming. Owner forums are filled with stories of seized engines. Facebook groups dedicated to Palisade and Telluride engine failures have thousands of members. A teacher in North Carolina had her Telluride engine seize at 67,000 miles. She was driving her kids to school. The engine made a loud bang and died. Kia denied warranty coverage. She said she couldn't prove every oil change was done on time. She had 11 out of 13 receipts. She's making payments on a $48,000 vehicle she can't drive while saving for a $12,000 engine replacement. Number 3. 2024 to 2026 Chevrolet Traverse. Let's talk about the redesign disaster. The all-new 2024 Chevrolet Traverse, GM's 3-row family SUV that's been completely redesigned. And it's been a catastrophe. The Traverse is experiencing transmission failures in vehicles with under 10,000 miles. Brand new SUVs fresh off the lot. The 8-speed automatic is shuddering, slipping, and failing completely. And GM is calling it normal break-in characteristics. It's not normal. What no one expected was the engine problem. The 2.5-liter turbo 4-cylinder is experiencing catastrophic failures. Turbocharger failures, excessive oil consumption, complete engine failure in vehicles barely broken in. A family in Ohio had their engine fail at 8,700 miles. 8,700 miles. But here's the kicker. The electrical system is a nightmare. Random warning lights for systems that aren't failing. Systems that shut down while driving. Safety features that deactivate without warning. One owner had the entire electrical system shut down on the highway doing 70 miles per hour. Everything, the gauge cluster, went black. The engine kept running, but all electronics died, terrifying with 3 kids in the car. A dealer service manager anonymously said they're overwhelmed with Traverse problems. He said GM rushed this to market. The testing wasn't thorough enough. They wanted to beat the competition to market with a redesign. And now, customers are beta testing vehicles they paid $45,000 for. Number 2. 2022 to 2026 Honda Passport. Mechanics are refusing to work on multiple 2022 to 2026 Honda Passports, and it's not because they're lazy. One Ohio mechanic was asked to fix his 3rd Passport this month, with a repair bill totaling $8,700, and the SUV had only 47,000 miles. His advice to the owner? Sell it immediately before the real problems start. So what's going on with the Passport? These SUVs are facing catastrophic failures, and mechanics see the warning signs before it's too late. The issues aren't minor. They're serious, expensive, and preventable, yet they keep popping up across multiple vehicles in this model range. One of the biggest problems is with the engine and drivetrain. Owners are reporting failures that start relatively early, around 40,000 to 60,000 miles. Symptoms include shuddering, hesitation, loss of power, and in some cases, complete engine or transmission failure. Repairs often exceed $6,000, leaving owners questioning the reliability of a brand long known for dependability. What's worse, Honda's extended warranty doesn't always cover these issues. Some claims are denied because the vehicle wasn't maintained in ways the manufacturer now claims are necessary, even when owners followed the maintenance schedule exactly. One owner had every service completed at the dealer, yet still had to pay $7,100 out of pocket for a transmission replacement. Mechanics themselves are frustrated. CVTs and some components in the Passport are fundamentally flawed, and even specialists refuse to rebuild them. The belt and pulley systems wear prematurely, hydraulic pressure isn't consistent, and cooling systems are inadequate. The only real fix? Full replacement, which can fail again. These failures are also hitting resale values hard. A Passport that should sell for $22,000 is dropping to $14,000 on the used market, purely because buyers know the problems exist. And Honda isn't fully addressing the design flaw. They're making minor software tweaks and calling it fixed. The reality? It's not fixed, and mechanics and owners are left dealing with the consequences. So here's the bottom line. The 2022 to 2026 Honda Passport may look like a dependable SUV, but mechanics are already seeing a pattern of expensive, recurring failures. If you're considering one, it's worth thinking twice. Repair costs, denied warranty claims, and resale issues make this a vehicle that could cost more than it's worth.
Number 1. 2022 to 2026 Toyota Tundra/Sequoia.
The number one SUV mechanics are begging you not to buy is actually the truck it's based on, the Toyota Tundra, and, by extension, the Sequoia that shares its powertrain. The legendary Toyota reliability? Gone. Replaced by a twin-turbo V6 that's failing catastrophically. And Toyota is hiding behind technicalities to deny warranty claims. The 3.5-liter twin-turbo V6 in the new Tundra and Sequoia is experiencing widespread engine failures. Mechanics report turbocharger failures, engine knocking, metal shavings in the oil, bearings failing, and complete engine seizures at 30,000 to 60,000 miles. These are Toyotas. This shouldn't be happening. A mechanic in Colorado has documented 9 Tundra engine failures in the last year, all with proper maintenance, all with dealer service records, all from owners who babied their trucks. Toyota is denying warranty claims. They say the failures are due to fuel quality or driving habits. A construction company in Texas bought 5 2023 Tundras for their fleet. 3 have had engine failures, all under 50,000 miles, all meticulously maintained. Toyota denied all 3 warranty claims on technicalities. One was denied because an oil change was done at 5,200 miles instead of 5,000. The company is out $41,000 in engine replacement costs. They've switched back to Ford. Never thought they'd say that. But here's where it gets worse. The replacement engines are failing too. Owners are reporting second and third engine replacements. The problem is fundamental. The twin-turbo design is pushed too hard, and Toyota is selling them anyway. The root cause? Toyota's chase for fuel economy and power. They downsized from a reliable V8 to this twin-turbo V6. It makes more power and gets better fuel economy on paper, but it can't handle sustained loads, towing, mountain driving, or hot weather driving. The engine overheats internally, the turbos cook, the bearings fail, and the whole engine needs replacement. A dealer technician in California anonymously contacted automotive forums. He said Toyota knows about the problem. Internal memos acknowledge the high failure rate. Service bulletins exist that dealers are told not to share with customers. Federal investigators are now reviewing the Tundra for potential safety defects. Owner complaints to NHTSA have reached the threshold for investigation. But here's the most disturbing part. Mechanics are refusing to work on these engines. The liability is too high. If they rebuild an engine and it fails again, which is likely given the design flaw, they could be sued. A mechanic in Arizona said he's turned away 8 Tundra engine jobs in 6 months. He told every customer the same thing: sell it before the warranty expires. Trade it in. Get out while you can. A family in Oregon bought a 2024 Sequoia Capstone for $78,000. At 34,000 miles, the engine failed on a family road trip. Complete seizure on the interstate. Toyota denied the warranty claim, said the oil wasn't changed frequently enough. The maintenance schedule says 10,000-mile intervals. They changed it every 8,000 miles. Still denied. They're making payments on a $78,000 SUV that doesn't run while saving for a $16,000 engine replacement. The bottom line: 7 SUVs, thousands of failures, millions in repair costs, and manufacturers who are choosing profits over customers. These aren't isolated problems. They're systemic failures that companies know about but won't fix. If you're shopping for an SUV in 2026, avoid these 7 at all costs. Your mechanic will thank you, your wallet will thank you, and you'll avoid the nightmare that thousands of owners are living right now. Hit that like button if this saved you from a terrible decision, and subscribe because we're exposing what dealerships and manufacturers don't want you to know: the truth about which vehicles are actually reliable and which ones will drain your bank account.